Welcome to Metaphysical Meanderings with Master Psychic Lana Duncan Hartgraves. Lana has been a practicing psychic for over 25 years and has the gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience. She is an empath, a medium, as well as a pet communicator and health advisor. If you want to know more about what she does, check her out at www.enchantedsky.com. And now we're live.
There
Welcome
we
in.
go. Hey, Kent, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
If on TikTok, if you guys want to see what's going on, it's 216 the net or YouTube on Lana's Enchanted Sky. You can't really see my guest. So because TikTok doesn't connect to anything yet. So what we have on is a young guy here named Rob. Rob, how do you say your name? Is it Christ or Christ?
I can't hear.
You can't hear?
Rob can't hear us.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We can hear you.
We can hear you. Okay, hold on. We can hear him fine. That's fine. No odd. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. We're trying to work out, but we do have a guest. His name is Rob.
Let's try this.
There.
Now do you have us there?
Now we can't hear him.
All right, hold on.
We had to work this through. Okay, hold on.
Unmute your mic.
There. Okay.
There
Does that work?
We're good.
I was trying to use my podcasting mic, but but then that interrupted my speaker.
Okay. All right. So I have a guest today, and I've been following you on TikTok is how I know you. That's where I found you. And if you don't know much about our station, it's all about Positivity Radio. And so and I like what you have to say. I am a psychic and a medium, but I consider myself Christian. And I heard what you said. I love what you have to say. I love your message. And I just want people to hear it. I'm featuring different religions. And I did now it was a different type of Christianity. I had an Episcopalian on. So so now I have a Presbyterian, and and so my next person, I'm going to have a Buddhist. I want everybody's opinion because it's all the same, really. It's all about love. And I just know that a year ago, I did a podcast. Jesus came to me and talked to me, and every single thing that's going on right now, he has said and that I said on that podcast, but he also, everything you guys are saying, he has said. And so that's why I'm like, and I've been watching you on my on TikTok. So welcome.
Thank you.
And so tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you located?
I'm in Edmonds, Washington. So I'm just a little bit north of Seattle.
Okay. You know, I know that you are very pro-female, pro-LGBTQ. I know that. Tell me a little bit more and what your viewpoint is, and tell me some more.
Well, I think that I'm part of that church journey for becoming affirming and more open about who's a Christian and who's in and who's out and all of that.
Yes.
And I've been a Presbyterian most of my life. I've been an elder for something like 40 years now, in one way or another. And then I had a career in high tech, and then about 7 years ago, I left that, went to seminary, and now I'm a working pastor. That's why I'm wearing my collar, because I'm on the clock. That's
very efficient. Very efficient. Yes.
So thank you. So tell us more. What's your viewpoint about all of this? The people that are banning people. In my opinion, I think they're all a bunch of hypocrites. So I'm just
what we're
I, you
seeing
know,
is we're seeing the same thing that we saw about women in ministry, about
yes,
inclusion of
yes.
about civil rights. It's really the same trajectory. The church, especially the sort of more fundamentalist, you could say Presbyterianism was a big part of it in the late 19th century, took a very hard turn toward literalism and fundamentalism. It really is a reaction to abolition. So
Okay.
what most people don't realize is that the abolition movement came out of the Second Great Awakening in the 1830s
Yes.
to a large extent.
Yes.
So it was very much an
Here.
evangelical thing.
Yes.
Also, women's suffrage. Oberlin College, if you're familiar with Oberlin College, was a big center of that.
Okay.
So what happened was in the mid 19th century was more establishment-oriented Christians, like Presbyterians, like Episcopalians, and so forth, reacted very hard against that, and essentially created what we know as I hate the word conservative, but that's what people say. Most people use the word evangelical Christianity, very Southern, Southern Baptist. What most people don't realize is that the vast majority of non-denominational churches are actually either Baptist or Assemblies of God. They're not non-denominational. They're non-denominational maybe in their structure, in their government, but in their polity and their theology, they're very, very much Baptist, very Southern.
So
yeah.
Well, yeah. So your views are very much very progressive. I mean, I've been watching you, and I like what you have to say. I like, the denunciation of exclusion. Tell me a little bit more about that. They're excluding so many. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So tell me some more.
Well, I think a lot of it comes from biblical illiteracy, honestly. There's just not they pick out verses to separate, and there are a lot of verses of separation, of course, in the Old Testament, because the Israelites were trying to be distinct people in a sea of other people. And the way they are distinct is they say, well, we have the one true God and everybody else doesn't. But what happens is that people take that literally and they say, oh my gosh, no, that's exactly what we should do too, is that we should, we have true knowledge and everyone else doesn't.
Yeah.
And what happens very frequently in my situation is I'll get this, you don't know what you're talking about, right? And I go, well, and then I just explain something. And then they go, oh, you're an overeducated seminary graduate who is corrupted. I go, well, which is it? Do I not know anything, or do I know too much?
Exactly. So the viewpoint that I like that you take is that there's places all over in the Bible that are, if you're going to be biblical about this. Now, I've also, I look at a lot of texts. I'm studying the Kabbalah right now. Is that that leave people alone and love people? What, you know what I'm saying? What is your viewpoint on that? Because I like to hear you on TikTok.
We're a community, and we always have been. And we've always decided what's right and what's wrong. Every community does. Nobody follows Levitical laws. They cherry pick the Levitical laws they don't like, usually anti-gay ones, right?
Yeah.
But they don't. Every society has its rules that it develops, and they develop them cooperatively. And so a great example is marriage. You'll often hear people talk about biblical marriage. My marriage is biblical. I follow. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Biblical marriage was property exchange and not absolutely not mutually consensual. So the idea that we as modern people demand mutual consent, we demand equal rights. We at least say we do. And biblical marriage doesn't apply to you. That's Bronze Age stuff,
Yes, exactly.
So then people will say, well, hey, wait a minute. you're not following Scripture. I go, no, I'm absolutely following Scripture, because Scripture is all about context, all about the culture in which it's written, and you can't just pull stuff and then say what you can't pull stuff very selectively, which is what people do. So I'll push back a little bit. I don't like the word progressive too much because there's a political side to that.
There's a political side about it.
Yeah. But I do say, do I read the Bible critically? Yes, absolutely. Do I affirm LGBTQ people? Absolutely, because it's justice. It's not.
Yes.
It's just justice. Do I want women in leadership? Absolutely, because guess what? That is scriptural. There are a lot of women in leadership.
Yes.
So
yes.
I just think that so I look at it, I go, well, I'm using the tools that you use or that the church uses in order to show that you don't have to think that way. And there was a time before the moral majority and the hard turn to the right in churches. There was a time when the church was oriented that way, was trying to become more inclusive.
That's why. And good morning. 21.6, the net, the station that you're on. John 21.6.
Oh, so, okay. I didn't know that.
yeah. So the idea is, to throw the net on the other side of the boat. Try something different, but keep doing what you're doing, right? And that sounds like what you're doing is like, hey, let's just love people because they're people.
Yeah, well, and when I'm in a quiet moment and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, am I pushing too hard, or am I saying something that's hurting people or whatever? Because that's always the danger when you do this, right? And I go, no, because I mean, who would Jesus be hanging out with?
Yeah,
exactly.
Jesus would be hanging out with queer people today. Absolutely, no question.
No,
it's just
So
that's what he did then. That's what.
What's your viewpoint about other people's religions? I mean, are you you're completely accepting of other people and how they believe, and you don't pass judgment? What's your viewpoint on all that?
Well, what I would say, I can only speak for myself, right? And I think that's true of everybody. But I would say I definitely, and I don't think it's scriptural at all to say that out of the 8 billion people on the planet that 6.5 of them are going to hell because they haven't heard the message.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. That's just stupid, right?
Yes, thank you.
But I do think that there's revelation. In other words, I do think that we are given the Spirit of God moves in us, and I think that it moves in a lot of different ways. And I don't think that where I speak for myself, because I've been on this path a lot, and a lot of self-reflection, and I say, the thing I love about Christianity is its earthiness, its fleshiness, that God became a human. So it kind of works against that perfection model. It works against that. It works against that. And I love Muslims, and I have friends that are Muslims. But the one criticism I have of Islam is that God is distant and high, not fleshy and earthy. So kind of Gnostic almost. There's a lot of Gnosticism in there.
Gnosticism,
Yeah, and the thing I love about Judaism is very earthy. Right?
Very earthy, yes. Yeah. I get it, yeah. So what would you say if someone were being judgmental? If somebody were doing this judgmental stuff to you, I'm a psychic and a medium, and I say my Jesus has come to me. I said if I were Muslim, it'd probably be a Muhammad, Or
Yeah.
I-
Yeah, of
I-
course.
anybody knows also that Jesus studied with Buddha. Like there's
Yeah.
clear evidence in
Oh, man.
all the Buddhist texts. What would you say to these people when they're in your face? Because I get that a lot. I'm going to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I do
get it a
too.
lot,
Yeah.
And so what would you say? What would you think?
Well, I'm not a wallflower, so I do, I do push back. I try to push back. Well, I've spent a lot of time working with churches, trying to help them move. Because a lot of churches have split over LGBTQ issues,
Yes,
especially,
they have. Yes.
and so and a lot of it's just a lack of imagination and lack of leadership.
Yes.
Because it's a gradual process. You never take anybody from being homophobic to LGBTQ affirming in one day.
Right.
So what I do is I just realize that we're all on a path. This is honestly, I really don't think this is going to be an issue in 20 to 30 years in the Protestant church.
Okay.
I really don't. I mean, there'll be pockets of it, of course. You'll have holdouts, but Gen Z just doesn't care. I mean, Gen Z, in fact, is so affirming. They're just so that's part of what I do is I try to reach out to that group of people. Is that
that makes sense? Yes.
15 to 30. That's why TikTok is so valuable because that's where your 15 to 30-year-olds are, right?
Yes.
Facebook, it's interesting. The reaction I get on Facebook is quite different. Very different.
There's old people on there. That's why.
Old people and hostile. Oh my God, hostile. Yes. Anything you're threatening their power a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. There is like we all know that all the social medias are there's like a vibe off of them. And so I get it. I get it.
So that's how I approach it. I figure you're on a path. I need to understand enough about where you're from first.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need attacked or shaming or whatever it is. Sometimes you just need to be, come on, get off.
Exactly. And called out on it.
Yeah. Be called out.
So, Pastor, as we look at it, and this is, I'm an ordained deacon in the Episcopal Church. So I always look and say, why are Christians, quote unquote Christians, always so worried about eternity rather than their time here on earth?
Yep.
And what would you say if someone came up to you and said, why are we so worried about eternity where everything is good instead of being good here?
If they're a Protestant, I'll tell them, you realize that you're just quoting Catholic dogma to me,
Exactly.
It's the idea of eternal conscious torment hell is the most effective tool of the Roman Catholic Church.
Scare them into it. Scare
everybody.
Scare everybody. Well, and it scares them into the sacramental system. So you need the sacramental system in order to be able to be saved from the dangling over the pit of hell, right?
Exactly.
What happened, though, is we thought Luther saved us from that, right? Or Calvin. No. Luther and Calvin cherry-picked. I hate that. They picked the parts of Catholicism that served their purpose. And eternal conscious torment hell was a very effective tool that was... so today, you talk to most Catholics, I would say most, but a lot of Catholics, and they're kind of, well, that's what they say, right? But you talk to a lot of Protestants, especially, evangelical Protestants, they are more committed. They're more committed to eternal conscious torment hell than they are to Jesus.
Exactly.
Well,
what is your viewpoint about some of these churches? I've been reading articles that some of these people said Jesus is too liberal, and they literally have been saying it in some of the churches.
Yes.
I mean, what's your I have that on my bumper. I have a bumper sticker on the back of my Jeep that says Jesus was a liberal. So anyway, So what's your viewpoint on all this? I mean, you think they're just changing it to match what they, what they think and all that,
Well, that comes from Russell Moore. I don't know if you know that name. Russell Moore used to be the policy head for the Southern Baptist Convention, and he was and he was also the president, I think, of the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in South Carolina. So he is he's a big deal, right? Russell Moore is a big deal. And over the last, really ever since Trump got elected, he's been pushing back against his cohort, saying this isn't where we're going, this isn't right, and all of this stuff. So he left the Southern Baptist Convention. He's been a little bit outspoken, but this guy, I'm telling you, he is no liberal conservative at all, right? Okay. But he has seen this division happening and because the Southern Baptist Convention, if you follow them, they're just split. They're almost like the Republican Party. There's like a 80% that's super committed to nationalism, and and then there's about 20% said no, we're going the wrong way, and the people, the 20% are being pushed out.
So
that's Russell Moore. He said he's been hearing that from pastors telling him that because a lot of pastors, even in these churches, don't tell you exactly what they're thinking, because they know that if they said to their congregation what was inside their head, that they would be thrown out on a rail.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's where that comes. So why? Yes. So I think it's that just nationalism, clinging to power, domination. We have to dominate in order to be Christians, colonialism, all of those things.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that you had said there was a wave of an awakening that what happened in the 1830s? That's what's going on now, correct? I mean, that is what's going on. We are in the age of Aquarius. We started the end of 2020.
I think so.
It all. So
I mean, some people have talked. You've ever heard of the name Phyllis Tickle?
No.
She was a philosopher that says that things kind of happen in 500-year cycles, and she thinks that. And you kind of look at it. Yeah, I mean, the institutional church happened about 500 AD. About 1000 AD. 1000 was when you had the Great Schism and the real rise of the Catholic Church in the West, and then you have the Protestant Reformation in the 1530s, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could her idea is that we're doing the same thing. We've been spending the last 150 years fighting over whether evolution happened,
Exactly.
Stuff like that. We have a far bigger understanding of the world and philosophy and other cultures than Luther or Calvin ever had. So here we are 500 years later and go, does Christianity fit into this or not?
Yeah, well,
this new understanding or not. And that's what we're dealing with.
A lot of people are leaving Christianity. You know that because they're searching because they can't take the dogma. So
or they can't take the fighting back of the
it's too much, and
the denialism.
So I think it's more of I think it's more of a spirituality thing that they're searching that's there, but when you're constantly being told what to do and blah blah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you just are kind of like, I can't do this, and I mean, I know that I'm a whole bunch of religions. I'm the religion of Lana. So but I think that if that's what people need to have, right? I mean,
I got a back row seat to religion of Lana every Wednesday. And when I say back row, Pastor, that's where all the good Christians sit.
Yeah. So, well, I'm always searching. I'm always looking. I keep my mind open. I have lots of different guests on here. I'm gonna be, we've got a Buddhist monk coming on. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's what this is about. It's just keeping the open mind. But the message is when it's all said and done, it's all about love.
Well, and I think it's healthy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Buddhist practice, I know something about that. I've done a little bit myself. It's healthy to understand and realize. And where I come from is that Christianity is part of that movement. Yes. It's not in opposition to it.
Correct.
When it's in opposition to it, then what you're talking about is colonialism, essentially.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying. I've got the only way, and I'm going to force you into my way. That's colonialism. That's not Christianity.
No, I know.
That's not Paul. If you look at Paul was very adaptable, right? He went to all these different cultures, and he said he was very central on what the message was. But anyway.
Yeah. From what age do we consider people old?
I think that age is relative. I think it's a mindset.
Yeah.
And To be honest, I know that Aga, I know that I've met people with the mindset of a 20-year-old that are 70 years old.
Yep.
I think it's when you keep an open mind and you say you don't have that black no, 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 no all the time, So anyway, well, thank you for coming. I like other people's perspectives.
Uh-huh.
You can follow me on here. You can also we can also find Rob. Is it Christ or Christ?
Christ.
It is Christ. I thought I was right.
Yeah,
I just thought it was Christ.
it's not made up. It's a
and
German name. There's lots of Christs in
Yes.
Germany.
Yeah.
That's the name with a name like that. That's pre.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm speaking of Robert. No,
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
I like to say my sentence or my name is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, and it's good. And how can we find you? I know you're on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm
I
on
know
TikTok.
where else are you at?
Real Bible Rob. That's
Real
me
Bible
on
Rob.
TikTok.
On TikTok. Okay.
And that's a personal account. I'm also on Instagram under my church's name, which is Edmonds Presbyterian Church.
Edmonds Presbyterian. So,
Edmonds, EDMONDS Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
Also on Facebook, same name.
Same name.
You'll see me on YouTube, and that's where I do that's where I put my sermons, my streaming, all of that stuff's on YouTube.
Awesome.
So the way to get to that, the best way, you can use my name. You can just, I've got a reasonably large presence on YouTube, so you can find me. Or you can go to my church website, which is just you can just Google Edmonds Presbyterian Church, and it comes up.
Okay. Okay.
Anybody who would like to drop in on us, check us out. I love it. I love interaction.
Yes.
As long as it's respectful.
Right.
Exactly.
I
think that most of the people watching this, I am on TikTok. I'm live on TikTok, and then I've gone. We're on YouTube,
Twitch, Twitter,
Instagram.
Yep. Yeah, I got off of Twitter. There was too much hate. I had to do it. This is on Twitter, but I don't really go on there.
Right.
I post.
Yeah. we try to drip good news out there, right?
Good. Be a counterweight.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So thank you very much for coming.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. I really enjoyed being with you.
Thank you. It's so sweet of you. Thanks a lot, and we will talk again, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. All right. So if you notice, the reason that I'm pulling these people on is all about love. And I have been saying this, that it's when it's all said and done, that's what this is about. It's the age of Aquarius. Anything that does not promote love will implode upon itself. Anything. And I'm trying to explain this to people. That's why they think certain things, like certain people be reelected, and I'm not going to go there, but it's not going to happen. I've been saying this all along. I'm just letting you guys know that you remember it. We're going forward, and we're going forward quickly.
Jonathan says, hey,
Jonathan.
I already have a special place in hell. See y'all there. Thanks for judging everyone. Absolutely perfect. Maybe we're in it right now, Jonathan. You never know. You never know. Hey, Sarabi's getting out there.
All right. Yeah. So it's about that time. So let's go.
Let's do questions. Questions to ask the psychic. Be very specific. Sarabi has a nice one here. Will I still have a job after May?
Sarabi. I don't know if it's the job you're in, but you will be working. You will not. There's money coming in. So I'm not sure what that means, but there's money coming in. Okay. And by the way, this is 10 o'clock. I take questions now. If you want to ask them on TikTok or you want to ask them wherever, you can also go any place and you can ask these, and we'll be taking questions.
Hey, and just a quick shout out to our good friend at Diamonds Natural Store for all your fur babies' healthy diet needs and toys and things of that nature. Visit diamondsnaturalstore.com. You'll love it, and so will your fur baby. Terry T says, Miss Lana, I found out people at work are spreading a bad rumor behind my back. I wonder, will this affect my job or me? It's making me so worried.
I feel like somebody's going to want to talk to you, Terry. I don't know if it's a boss and they're going to say, it's not true, blah, 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 and they'll get worked out. But I want to say there's going to be talking to somebody. There's going to be something like that going on. Okay. All right. I'm going to take somebody off of TikTok.
Yeah, go for it.
Yep. I'm going to take somebody off of TikTok. I got somebody. Where did it go? You guys know that TikTok is hard because it rolls, but so it gets difficult. Yeah. I got Donica asking, how will the UAW fare out from the strike? Okay. So you guys know that if you're following me, I do predictions. I'll do them live even. And what I did is I said something was going to be significant the 24th. Well, it was, because the rest of the people went on strike too. I didn't understand what I was saying. I just know that I said they told me the 24th. Now, and when they tell me dates, I'm like, I stick to it. I'm thinking, well, what happened? Because it's nothing, no bit. And yes, the two other plants now, everybody's on strike now because they had kept Denali, the SUV open, and the Ram trucks, and they're on strike too. And it happened on the 24th, like I said. So, but like I said, I think they're going to get what they want. I'm sorry. But what I don't understand is you can't pay your workers, but yet you've wasted $200 million already. So you tell me, where's the mindset here, right? Just a thought. All right. So, yeah.
Just a thought.
Just a thought. Okay. Go ahead. What do we got for questions?
Let's see. Sam says, hey, how many bodybuilding competitions will I compete in my first season? And are there any out-of-state competitions that stand out in particular? First of all, rock on, Sam.
Okay, Sam. Yes. Yeah, good for you, Sam. There's not going to be a whole, 3 or 4 to start. And then I think there might be 1 or either 2 out of state.
Nice.
There's not a lot right away. I don't want to say you're there. That's kind of a lower number for a while. Okay.
Right. And Sam, I love the mindset that what you do that's incredibly difficult and cool. So I'd love to pick your brain sometimes.
Yes.
That's cool.
Okay.
Christy Quinn says, will I find a job this month?
Not anymore this month, possibly in the middle to late November. So yeah, because remember, we're already almost all the way out into November. Okay. So okay, but yeah, you will about third week. You at least are going to hear one. Okay.
Autumn, not sure if this is too generic, but says any messages from a guide.
It's a little bit too much. Autumn's a follower on my lives, but this, honey, we got 1 million people watching, right. So it's too much for me. I can't, because I'm bringing it. You're giving me energy. And so it's hard. You got to make it a little bit more specific. Okay.
Yep. All right. Aga says, will my husband's work situation get better or will he quit?
Well, he's going to quit. Aga, he's going to quit, sweetheart. But there'll be something else to go to. So don't worry about it. That part of it. Okay. All right.
There we go. And MJW says, good morning, Lana. Will the cafe sell before January?
Oh, you're trying to sell it again, MJ? No, it's not going to sell before January. Hold on. If you really want to sell it, it's going to sell mid-year. I know MJ real well. I know exactly what she's talking about. So, all right.
All right. Jacqueline Shipper says, hey, Lana, after Tuesday night's live, I messaged you through your website. And again, Monday, I know you're busy. Just wanted to confirm if you received either message.
Yes, I did, dear. Aren't you the one that I'm sending the thing to, right?
There you go.
Yes, I got him.
Emmy Sin says, will Palestine be free? If so, when?
Okay. This is a long and lengthy thing. What I was told, this is just the beginning. Like, it's been going on for thousands of years. And you know what really kills me? To us, it would blow our minds that it's such a small area. That the Gaza Strip is 7 miles wide and 30 miles long. To us, that's like, I drive farther than that to get here to the podcast station. You know what I'm saying? It just blows my mind that it's that small of an area. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even really realize it was that small until I started doing my own research. But this is going to go on for a while. Sorry, you guys. I do want to say again, I'm going to tell you.
It's already been going on.
It's been
a
thousands of
while,
years.
right.
I mean, yeah, that's why I'm saying. But I do want to say, I still hold to my prediction that Ukraine's going to come to an end. I think it's probably next year sometime.
Yeah, people got bored with that one. So here we are, got a new one.
There you got a new one, exactly.
Mark Sonnenberg. Good morning, Mark. Mark says, will the world move to a state of cooperation and love rather than conflict and war? And if so, when?
Well, yeah, because we're in the age of Aquarius. You can see the mindset changing. There's an undercurrent of mindsets changing. And it's a state of cooperation and love. And that's what the age of Aquarius is all about. It started at the end of 2020. And that is why you see corruption being revealed. You see things that you're like, oh my God, that was so corrupt. You don't even know some of it was corrupt. You kind of thought it was, but it's just obvious now because there's a motion forward. And like I said, if it doesn't represent love, kindness, cooperation, working together, it doesn't represent all that, it will implode upon itself. It's going to fall apart. So that is why we're seeing changes in money and how money is being dealt. We're seeing all these changes. Last year when Jesus came to me, he said we would be bartering. And I have been told that over and over and over and over. That it's and a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, you don't know. That's what a lot of people, there are websites now where you can say, hey, I got this. Anybody want to trade me? You got something good? You hear it a lot. It's becoming more and more common because the money system, there's some corruption involved in money. I mean, money, it's not the root of all evil, but it's a root of a lot of evil. So yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Elvira Rivera. Hi. Will I get the job that I'll be interviewing for next week?
Yeah, I believe so.
Thank you.
Yes, I believe so.
Nice.
Okay. Amy, let's see. No, I got a couple.
Yeah.
What's happening with your career that's too brief? What are you going to be? Are you thinking of getting laid off or losing it or being laid off? It seems like there might be a layoff coming up, but it wouldn't be very long. Okay. I'm not sure I feel like there's an off. There's off somehow, Amy. Okay. Got her on TikTok. I don't understand. Sometimes I don't understand everything completely. So,
well, you're a psychic. You're supposed to.
Oh yeah, I know everything. Right? Okay, like I'm perfect, right?
That's right.
But sometimes, like I said, follow
up with that question. Give her a little bit more.
Yes, give me a little more
clarity there.
Point. Yeah.
Teresa Campbell says, just wanted to let you know her husband just ordered 23andMe. Can't wait to talk to you once he gets his results.
Yes, Teresa, we talked about that. Yes, You are correct. I had a reading with him yesterday. And I told him to go get that. He needed it. And I don't understand why. I just repeat. Sometimes you guys, I'm a medium. I just repeat what I'm told and they'll say, hey, you need to do this. Hey. And I just say, hey, and yeah, you need to do that. Not an understanding always completely why, but just knowing that that's what they say. So your guides, right. your ancestral guides. Okay.
Janet at Charlie says, hello. Will I be okay financially if I take a month off of work for school?
Yes, because you already have it all planned. You know exactly what you're going to do. You're fine. You have had it in your mind for several months, right? Yes, but you'll be good. You'll be okay. You won't starve. You won't miss your bills. Everything has been taken care of already.
There you
go. Now I want to tell you something really fast, you guys. I've been doing this and this is working. And I'm writing a book of the I Am Principle. But I also listen to other people. I watch other people. I'm looking for information all the time.
Always.
And when you're wanting to manifest, what you need to do is, some people have a nice gentle aura. And so live just a couple inches off of their body, and it's a nice gentle purple, or if you want to manifest, you need to double the size to triple the size of your aura, because there's a theory out there by making that aura larger, you can attract stuff because it'll stick because it's bigger. The aura is bigger. So I don't know. I've been doing this and it is working. Now, all you do is go into a meditation and imagine your aura going out farther. Going out this far even. And that's all you have to do. And then money comes. I know I think it's working because I had read some research on this that they had actually researched this, and so I'm sharing that with you. Concentrate on your aura. Concentrate on as if, as if you've got $1 million. You act as though you think as if you've got $1 million, and you increase your aura. So just a thought. I don't know if that'll try that. Tell me if it works for you because it is working for me. Okay.
Angelus, good morning. Says, should I go to the Halloween party this Friday?
You should, Angelus. Why not? You have some fun.
That's
Have
it.
some fun. I love Halloween. You guys know that's my holiday. It just has always been it. You know what? You know what the big thing about Halloween for me is? It's not like, there's black magic. No. You get to be somebody else for the day. You get to be, you get to role play for the day.
I don't do it.
And you don't do Halloween? Oh, God, Halloween.
I don't do many holidays. I don't.
You're not a holiday person.
No.
I just love my Halloween. I got my
every day's a holiday.
my house is all decorated. I got my pumpkins out. I got my corn stalks and all that stuff out because I just think Halloween's the coolest ever.
Yeah, I got a business partner. Never is that, you know how some people never take down their Christmas lights. He never takes down his Halloween stuff.
Well, there you go. He's in the pocket.
All right. No, I know it's great. Any money for me? I got laid off and very depressed. Janie Stockman.
You got laid off.
Yeah.
I want to say there is something. Keep the faith. It's want to coming by January. Okay. Hey, my husband might get laid off. He makes parts of the big three. He was saying to me today, he goes, there's nothing here. He also makes parts for John Deere. They're on strike and they've been laying off. And so he's like going, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, well, start fixing cars, buddy. Because he's also a certified mechanic. I said, start fixing cars. So, yeah. So, okay. Let me take somebody off of here.
Yeah.
Hi, Kristen. What month next year will June message me? March, late February, early March. Okay, see if that works. Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Elizabeth says, my dad had a stroke 3 years ago and his legs are giving out just now. Is it related to that or something else?
It's something else. Elizabeth, there's something else going on there. I don't know if it's an autoimmune. There's something else. It's like, I want to say it's autoimmune. It's MS. It's something else. Okay.
Excellent. Looks like somebody jumped out to coffee. It's a great place to ask questions out there. Support Lana at coffee.com/enchanted sky.
Thank you.
Yep. And Terry just replies to you and just says, about those rumors, it's hard to deal with. So thanks for your help.
Yep. Not a problem, Terry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last
question. We got one more.
Let's see here. Taylor Ann says, will my son get out of his relationship soon?
No. It's a no. Like, I got it immediately. No. He eventually will, but not now.
Yeah.
Not a year and a half or more yet. Yeah. So, okay.
Hey, there we go. Well, one more. That was a quick one. Maria Crossdale says, what will the situation be with this job? I'm thinking of quitting.
Yeah, it's the best thing you could do. You got something better coming. The second half of the year, so just stick with it until you find something else.
Yeah.
I want you to put your resume out and I want you to make a few phone calls because I feel like there's a connection coming. Okay.
There we go. Of course, always visit enchantedsky.com for if you have questions, anything like that. Go out to diamondsnaturalstore.com no matter where you are in the world and get your fur babies food and toys. They'll deliver. It's wonderful. Sue is great over there. But really, for all of us, we're going to ask, just go out, have a great weekend, great Halloween. And we'll be back next week with another great episode of Metaphysical Meanderings. Until then, that'd be good, but more importantly, be good to one another.